we're making it as easy as possible to capture, share, and organize sports videos at the youth level. So I started my career in soccer at a time in northern New Mexico when there were no girls' teams. And so I knew I wanted to play college. And so at this time, I was a sophomore, and I started to begin even then the recruiting process to get into college. This was the recruiting process. This was what you put your highlight reel on, a VHS tape. And so a pretty sophisticated highlight reel back in those days was putting together like 2 halves from 2 different games, sending it to a coach, and hoping they could find you. I ended up going to Cal, as did my director of biz dev, Stacy Chapman. We have not 1 megabyte of video from this team. The top row is Mary Harvey and Brandy Chastain, and Joy Fawcett was in the middle row. Those 3 won 2 World Cups and 2 gold medals in soccer. And then Andrea Rodabaugh was the captain of the first women's Mexican national team that qualified for the World Cup in '99. So it would have been nice to have a little bit of things from then. But fast forward a generation, and the short one here is my niece Katie. And Katie loved soccer from the day she stepped on the pitch. And by the time she became a 9th grader, she knew she wanted to play sports, and so, or play soccer in college. And so she came up to me and she said, "How can can you help me capture video and highlight reels and make highlight reels? I got to start this process." And I was like, of course. I mean, it's got to be so much easier since my day. I mean, new cameras, new software, everything. And then I spent my first weekend on her first highlight reel. So I realized it was a little more difficult. So I built the SportXast app, and it makes it easy to capture highlights without editing. And so this thing is on auto, I think. But so that app, you wait till you see something happen, you hit the button, and then you can tag your player, you can share the video right from the sidelines, and you can also tag a player. And so now with our new version coming out this week, you can tag a player and it goes straight to her team channel, and the videos by game are all stored there. And if the player is tagged, then it goes to her player channel. And on her player channel, she can create highlight reels from the clips that we've taken or her parents have taken or the team parents, and she can pull up other video sources to create her highlight reel. And so we've made it a lot easier. She can also do the recruiting process and through this platform and invite coaches and others to follow what she's doing in her sport. So it worked out for Katie. She was the complete test case for everything, but coaches really liked getting these clips really quick, close to the game she just played. And so she committed to Colorado College, a Division I program in southern Colorado for this next season. So there are 35 million kids who are playing sports, and there's media being captured at every one of these sports and sporting events, yet overwhelmingly they aren't coordinated. They aren't, the media doesn't connect back to the kids necessarily. It doesn't connect back to the clubs. And so at the same time I was dealing with Katie, I was working at Los Alamos National Laboratory looking at research that had commercial potential. And I'm going to try to go back here. And I got assigned to this computer vision group. And that was the first pretty much I'd ever heard of computer vision. This group had started in 2007 with neuroscience-based algorithm development. They were working for the military. They were specifically focused on analyzing video from satellites and drones. And they were very lucky because they were trying all kinds of things back then, but they also had access to the brand new Mustang supercomputer Los Alamos had just created. And so they were able to throw massive amounts of data at this and just see what happened, and it really helped them get going. So naturally, I thought, sports. I mean, sports and tagging and computer vision sounds good to me. I ended up starting SportXast around that time. I was able to get a grant from New Mexico, and we worked with that group. And they helped us. They helped us identify algorithms we could utilize out of OpenCV. They steered us towards databases to help train our algorithm. And we were just looking for a little algorithm, and I'll show you a little bit more about it. This group, led by Stephen Brumby, ended up spinning out and creating their own company. So here's a video that we have. We have a lot of information on these videos: the score, the player type, the team type. But now we've got an algorithm that identifies numbers. And so we're starting to tag players automatically, and we're training our algorithm more and more. But now we're also looking at, can we do scene recognition? So we've got the number, now we've got a number, and we've got a ball. So we know that that highlight is going to be a better potential highlight. And then, as this video continues, if we can identify a feature like a goal, and for us, goals are important. That's the most sought-after highlight, is a score. And then the ultimate icing on the cake for us would be to be able to identify a goal. And so this is where we see the future, because we think that you should be able to quickly filter through and find the goals of the season and put it in a highlight real quickly and automatically. We think that the fouls of the last game, to check and see if the game was stolen from you, or you missed your daughter's tournament in California, and can you see what she did specifically. So this is what we're aiming for. We looked at other kinds of ideas, and we're not experts in this, but we thought about facial recognition, and we deal with young kids, but it's not off the table, because quite frankly, facial recognition, if you could get an algorithm that a parent could self-train it on their own kids, that could be something in the future that might work. We're not going that direction, but it's something we thought about. The other thing is body recognition. I mean, as we get more into drones capturing video and things, you're not going to see the face. You're not going to see a number necessarily, but could you identify, especially your player, by the way she moves, by the way she runs, by her body type? And so that's probably way down the line, but it's something we're thinking about. But ultimately, we're looking for the montage moment, where at the end of a game, a player has a link in her, whatever her favorite platform is, and it's got her best plays of that game, and she can go through it right away and play with it, because we know that these players love to see themselves do something good. And it is funny, because when we see some really good plays coming up with the app, some players will look at it literally hundreds of times, their goal. So thank you very much.